Hi, this is Christopher Sparrow with iTechGear.org, and I've got a unboxing of something that's very, very interesting and probably on the minds of a lot of different MacBook Pro users. Right? This is the DGRule Invisible Hub. Now, on iTechGear.org, I just posted an article about how Apple doesn't make using multiple monitors easy. And to be very honest, they don't. All right? Their machines are not necessarily and have never necessarily been designed to work with any kind of a true docking station, something that you might find like on a Dell. Dell was silly with docking stations. They were crazy with them. All right? You could go ahead and pop your PC in, have everything connected to it. You had more than one monitor. All right? Life was good. All right? Keyboard, mouse, speakers, everything connected to the docking station. I want to go home. I push a button. The PC pops out, and away I go. Of course, after doing all the appropriate shutdown stuff, because you know Windows is picky. But you get it. All right? It's all there. I come back the next day, pop the PC in the docking station, push the power button on the docking station. Thing starts up in clamshell mode, and I've got my monitors wherever I've got my monitors, and things are good. Again, going keyboard, mouse, speakers, the whole thing, whatever I've got connected to. I don't have to use any of the ports on the actual machine because I've got a special docking station port, probably either in the back or on the bottom, more than likely on the bottom of the machine. Now, the DGRule Invisible Hub for the 16-inch MacBook Pro doesn't necessarily fit into any sort of dedicated docking station because you know the MacBook Pro doesn't have a dedicated docking station, but it does clip on and clip into the USB-C ports or the Thunderbolt 3 ports that are on the side. All right. And so the nice thing about this is that this is a sort of a Ron Popeil kind of product. You set it and forget it. You put it on the machine and you forget it. It's there. All right. And you end up plugging and chugging all of the cables and whatnot out of there, but you don't have any dongles. So the nice thing about this is that while you can put this on your machine and you can leave it on your machine, which is nice. All right. You don't have to worry about any weird connectivity sorts of things. You have to worry about carrying the right dongles, finding the right dongle, getting the right dongle, because all you've got are USB-C ports. This will go ahead and actually do it for you. Now, I haven't looked at this. I haven't opened this. The cellophane is still on this, as you can tell. All right, but this particular docking station has a USB-C port, an audio port, USB port for a keyboard, an SD card slot, two additional USB-A ports for a mouse, and a USB flash drive, and then it's got a mini display port, an HDMI port, and then one additional USB-C port. All right, one of them is powered. One of them is for a multifunction 40 gigabit, 100 watts. All right, so let's take a look and see how this thing is. Now, unfortunately, the way that I've got everything up here, I'm recording this on my Mac, so I cannot. It's also not the right size. I cannot attach this to the machine because if I do, there goes the video. All right, but let's take a look though and see what's in the box and see how it looks. Aha. Knife. All right, so let's take a look. All right. Now this arrived today. The DGRule Invisible Hub is available on Kickstarter and Indiegogo both. All right. The Kickstarter one was for the 13-inch and the 15-inch. The Indiegogo was specifically for the 16-inch. All right. But let's take a look and see this. Now, there's little to no difference. So theoretically, this should fit my 15. All right, but very, very nice, very nice. All right, inside the box. All right, inside the box. I have a user, they call this a user manual. It's more of a pamphlet, something to blow your nose in. There's not a lot here. All right, and the print is very, very small, and I'm getting a little old. So, it says to tilt your MacBook to match the USB-C Type-C plug on the portable docking station with the MacBook Type-C ports, and then gently push them until it is fully inserted. So you basically go ahead, sort of jimmy it on one side, then jimmy it on the other side. All right, there should be some flexibility to this, but let's take a look and see how flexible it might be. This is in there pretty good. So they've got some packaging here. All right. All right. So there, it's spring loaded, and it's spring loaded just on one side. All right. So I'm able to go ahead and there does appear. But what bothers me the most is I don't know if this is supposed to be this way or not. But there's a little bit of play. I don't know that you can tell. All right. Don't know that you can tell, but there's a little bit of play in this. If there's going to be a spot where this is going to fail, it's right here, which is the business end of this. I find that very, very disconcerting. All right, because it's only got the two USB-C or Thunderbolt 3 type plugs on this side. All right, there is an audio, what appears to be an audio, or at least a dummy audio insert pin over here on this side. All right, that's nothing. That's nothing more than a plastic bump. All that's going to go ahead and do is hold the hub onto the computer from the other side. All right. So the as you can see, there's some insertion in some removal instructions that come on the hub itself, and then on the back you can see the full litany of ports. All right, got a USB-C and a audio out, a USB-C or a USB 3 or 3.1 styled USB port, USB-A port. What appears to be an SD card slots, and then two USB-A styled USB 3.1 ports, the mini display port, the HDMI port, and then another powered USB-C port over here. All right. Now the idea here is, and what's the selling point for this thing is that this thing is supposed to be, like I said, this is the Ron Popeil set it and forget it kind of thing. You stick it on there, and that's it. All right. You don't have to worry about where this thing is. I can plug and chug my connections out, plug and chug my connections out of the ports here if I wish, and I can take the whole computer with the hub still on it, stick it right in my bag. All right. The idea is that you have all of the common ports, and you can take it. You can take all of those with you. The biggest concern that we had in 2016 when Apple introduced the 15 and 13-inch MacBook Pros with Touch Bar and with USB-C ports was that they didn't go ahead and put USB-C ports on one side and then some legacy ports on the other side. They took all of your legacy ports away and left you with only USB-C ports. All right. So this at least gives you the ability to get some legacy ports back, and leaves one USB-C port here open, because this is, again, this one edge here, this one bump does nothing more than hold this thing in place on the other side. The other USB-C port is left open, so you do have you don't have a Thunderbolt pass-through. You have actual access to the Thunderbolt port, or both Thunderbolt ports, because this is going to go ahead and stick in the audio port, and you're going to have access to both ports. There's no pass-through. All right, and then that's it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a look at this over the next few days. There should be an article on iTakeYour.org about this particular product in the next week or so, and we'll see how it goes. But this is Christopher Spera for iTakeYour.org, and this is the DGRule Invisible Hub for the 16-inch MacBook Pro.